There's this invisible skill at play in almost every conversation you have. It's a silent force that kind of governs what you share and what you learn. And today, we're going to pull back the curtain and make it visible. No, seriously, take a second and think about it. That casual chat with a coworker by the coffee machine, that quick call with a salesperson, even just a friendly hello to a neighbor. How much did you give away without even thinking about it? Because here's the thing, and this is the core of what we're talking about today. Every single one of those conversations is a kind of negotiation. It might feel friendly, it might feel harmless, but just beneath the surface, there's often this quiet battle for information going on. All right, so let's dive into our first section here, the ghost in the room. Now, when you hear this, you might be picturing some intense interrogation scene from a movie, right? Bright lights, stern faces. But that's not what this is, not at all. This is a far more subtle art, and when it's done right, you walk away from a conversation feeling like you've just made a fantastic new friend. But in reality, you might have just handed over the keys to your kingdom. Which brings us to section 2, which we're calling the friendly theft. So what is this technique? Well, it actually has a name, and trust me, once you learn it, you are going to start seeing it absolutely everywhere. It's called elicitation. So, what is elicitation? Put simply, it's the strategic use of conversation to get information from someone without them ever feeling like they're being questioned. It's not about being tricky or deceptive. It's about guiding a conversation so skillfully that sharing just feels, well, natural. The two words to remember here are strategic and subtle. And just look at the difference here. Interrogation is all about pressure. It's direct, it's authoritative, it's forceful. Elicitation is the complete opposite. It's like a conversational jujitsu move that relies entirely on human psychology. And this is how it works. It taps right into our basic human wiring. We're social creatures, right? We have this deep-seated desire to be polite. We want to look smart and knowledgeable, and we absolutely positively cannot stand it when someone says something wrong and not correct them. These aren't character flaws, they're just features of being human, and they are the very features that elicitors exploit. Okay, here's a brilliant example. This is what's called a presumptive statement. A skilled elicitor might say something just like this, knowing full well it's probably wrong. So what happens? The natural, almost uncontrollable response for someone who knows better is to jump in and correct them. Oh, no, we actually migrated to the new Alpha 7 system last month. And boom, just like that. Information captured. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Okay, this is some fascinating spy stuff, but I'm not a spy. Well, welcome to Section 3, your daily battlefield. Because this isn't just happening in spy thrillers, it's happening to you every single day. Think about it. A salesperson uses it to find your emotional pain points so they can close a deal. A social engineer uses it to learn your dog's name, which is probably your password, isn't it? Even that harmless-looking website asking about your preferences is constantly mining you for data. Information is the new currency, and everybody wants a piece. I mean, when was the last time you saw a quiz like this pop up on social media? It looks like a bit of fun, but it's pure digital elicitation. They offer you a tiny piece of entertainment, your fun result, in exchange for a key piece of personal data. The name of the street you grew up on? That's a classic security question answer. Okay, so you get the threat. Now it's time for Section 4, the spy's playbook. Let's switch gears from being the target to becoming an informed player. And look, understanding these tools isn't about becoming manipulative. It's about being effective and, most importantly, protected. Let's look at some of the moves. First, you've got quid pro quo. You share a small, harmless secret to make someone feel comfortable sharing a real one. Or you can play the naive listener, saying something like, wow, I just don't get how that new system works, makes people want to teach you, and in the process, they reveal all its inner workings. Then there's bracketing. You guess a number is, say, somewhere between 50 and 100,000, and they'll almost instinctively correct you with the actual precise figure. But honestly, offense is one thing. Defense is what really matters for most of us. This is counter-elicitation, which is really the art of strategic ambiguity. The goal here is to become what intelligence folks call a gray man, someone who is totally pleasant, completely polite, but who reveals absolutely nothing of substance. You become a data black hole. So these are your shields. When someone asks a nosy question, you use the deflection. Just answer their question with a new question of your own. If they press for specifics, you hit them with a closed-loop answer, something polite but totally useless, like, oh, things are moving along. And if they keep pushing for your expert opinion, sometimes the smartest thing you can say is, I'm not really sure about that. Let's see this in action. The classic curious neighbor scenario. They bring up your new smart lock and ask about your Wi-Fi signal. Seems innocent, right? But what are they really asking? They're probing your home security and your network's vulnerabilities, all under the cover of a friendly chat. And here is the perfect counter. Notice what you did. You didn't answer their question at all. You gave a vague, closed-loop response, "They're interesting," and then you immediately deflected by pivoting the conversation back to them. You were pleasant, you are friendly, but you gave them nothing. And all of this brings us to our final and maybe the most important section. This goes beyond simple techniques and gets into a deeper philosophy of personal power and security. Let's talk about the art of silence. We live in this culture of oversharing, right? We're constantly told that transparency is a virtue, that sharing is caring. But I want you to really let this quote sink in. In many high-stakes situations, being completely transparent just makes you a target. The ultimate goal here is something you could call mental sovereignty. See, when you control what people know about you, you're controlling the map they use to navigate your life. And if that map is incomplete, well, they can't find your weak spots. And you know that feeling, that almost physical itch to correct someone, to share your story, to explain yourself? That is the exact feeling that elicitors exploit. Learning to just sit with that discomfort, to not scratch that itch, is where your real power lies. So, I've got a challenge for you. Try this. Just for one day, try to go the whole day without offering a single piece of personal information that was explicitly and absolutely required. Don't explain why you're late. Don't correct someone at a party. Just see what it feels like. Because by mastering this invisible skill, you're not just protecting your data. You're building a shield around your life. You'll start to realize that sometimes the strongest, wisest, and most powerful thing you can say is nothing at all.